Thomas H. Gallaudet, a name synonymous with deaf education. Born in Philadelphia in 1787, Thomas Hopkins Gallaudet was not born deaf, but he would become a champion for the deaf community. His family was well established, with a lineage tracing back to French Huguenot immigrants. They greatly valued education, and this belief was instilled in young Thomas from an early age. He was a brilliant student, and his intellectual prowess led him to Yale University, where he graduated at the tender age of 17. However, it wasn't academia that would define Gallaudet's life. Rather, it was his empathy and his desire to bridge the communication gap between the hearing and the deaf. This interest was kindled when he met a young deaf girl, Alice Cogswell, who lived near his family in Hartford, Connecticut. Her inability to communicate with the world around her deeply moved Gallaudet. It was this chance encounter with Alice that would set Gallaudet on his life's path. Inspired by Alice's thirst for knowledge, Gallaudet journeyed to Europe to learn the best methods for educating the deaf. He was determined to find a way to break down the barriers of silence and offer a beacon of hope to those isolated by their inability to hear. In Europe, Gallaudet's path crossed with that of Laurent Clerc, a renowned teacher of the deaf. Recognizing a shared vision, they forged a partnership that would forever change the landscape of deaf education in America. The duo faced a daunting task: to create a school where none had existed before, to evolve a system of teaching that would allow deaf students to tap into their inherent potential. Their journey back to America was not just a physical one, but a journey of purpose filled with dreams of a school that would symbolize equality, inclusivity, and respect for the deaf. They faced numerous challenges, including skepticism, financial constraints, and convincing a society that had largely ignored the needs of the deaf. Yet they persevered, driven by an unwavering belief that education was a fundamental right, irrespective of one's hearing capabilities. Their tireless efforts finally bore fruit when they opened the doors of their school to the first batch of students. In 1817, Gallaudet, along with Laurent Clerc and Mason Cogswell, founded the first permanent institution for the education of the deaf in North America. As the first principal of the American School for the Deaf, Gallaudet pioneered the use of sign language in education. This was not simply a role, but a mission that he embraced wholeheartedly. Gallaudet was more than just a principal. He was a visionary, a pioneer, an advocate. He believed in the power of education, and he believed that every individual, regardless of their hearing abilities, had a right to that power. He worked tirelessly to develop a standardized sign language, a language that could bridge the gap between the hearing and the deaf. This language, American Sign Language, is still in use today, a testament to Gallaudet's foresight and dedication. But Gallaudet's work didn't stop at the classroom door. He advocated for deaf rights, pushing for their inclusion in all areas of society. He fought against the stigma associated with deafness, and worked to ensure that the deaf community was recognized for its potential, not its limitations. Gallaudet's impact on the deaf community is profound. His legacy continues to inspire educators and activists around the world. But perhaps the most powerful testament to Gallaudet's legacy is the institution that he helped to found, the American School for the Deaf. This school, the first of its kind, continues to educate and empower the deaf community. Gallaudet's work has changed the face of deaf education, and his legacy continues to shape the field. His belief in the potential of every individual, regardless of their hearing abilities, has opened up a world of opportunities for the deaf community.